And he asked me one day, he said, are you thinking about playing sports? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, you know, you got to have a certain grade point average. And at the time, I'm like, well, you know, what is that? And, you know, he explained you got to have all C's and above and all that stuff. And that's when it clicked for me. And I brought everything up and started from there. As far as my grades, I finished high school okay, but when I got to college is when I really hit my stride as far as, you know, making the dean's list and academic success.
All right, we are here today with Mr. Nealie Whitt III, 06 Person High School graduate, born and raised in Person County, and currently in administration at
Falls Lake Academy.
So we're just going to ask you some questions about your life, your career, the work you do, and your desires for the future of Person County and the people in this community.
All right.
So first of all, tell me about growing up in Person County.
Yeah, so from Person County, born and raised Durgy Mine Road near Allensville, went to North End Elementary, Northern Middle School, Person High School.
So what all were you involved with growing up in Person County?
So middle school, started wrestling, football, track and field. Did all those three into high school, but my God-given sport was shot put and discus that earned me a scholarship to North Carolina Central.
Okay, and so as you were going through school, what were some of your experiences like in the Person County school system and the athletics? What really motivated you for the future? What caused you to grow? What were some things that you wished were different? Tell me about your experiences.
It was pretty good. Had some pretty good teammates, pretty good friends, good experiences. As far as the athletic side, actually started throwing here at Northern Middle School. And from there, I knew that it was a sport that I was going to really like and really pick up on. Got into high school, trained hard, worked hard, and got, like I said, a scholarship to North Carolina Central. There, I Hall of Famed, broke a few records, and made it to nationals in the discus. And as far as any adjustments, just a little bit more support as far as direction and plans for college. I feel like I had to do a lot of my own recruiting and, you know, reaching out to coaches, which is not, you know, a bad thing, but just a little bit more of, you know, guidance.
Yeah. So as you were preparing to enter into North Carolina Central University, first off, why did you choose North Carolina Central University?
So for me, I mean, as a kid going through my mom's yearbooks at North Carolina Central, I always knew that I was going to be at North Carolina Central. Got accepted to Johnson C. Smith and I think a few other schools, but I knew North Carolina Central was the place to be. I have probably 5 or 6 family members that went to North Carolina Central, aunts. And yeah, I knew North Carolina Central was going to be it.
Okay. So, as you chose that to be the place of your educational career, what were your goals at that time? Entering into college, what did you see for yourself for the future?
So, entering as a freshman, I was physical education K-12 major. So, of course, teaching was the goal at the time. So once I got into school and, you know, my freshman year and started seeing my progression in the sport of track and field, just start honing that in and working hard to, you know, the goal was to make the Olympic team and, you know, try to throw pro. Got pretty close, but, you know, just continued to work. And then from there, I went in teaching and coaching for 7 years.
So where was your first place that you taught at?
First place I taught was Cradle Elementary School in Oxford, North Carolina. I taught K-5, PE, and health. What
was your initial experience like as a teacher?
It was interesting because I had dealt with a lot of middle high school, so elementary was a little shocked, but because you had to be very animated every day. But it was pretty good. It taught me a lot. It taught me how to really master and be able to adapt lesson plans per the different class, because you might get one kindergarten class is very upbeat, very fast. So you might get another class that's kind of laid back. So just being able to adapt from class to class was pretty good.
Was it a difficult adjustment for your personality? Because you're known to be, you know, a fun-loving guy. Was it difficult to adjust to kids who have to be, you know, pepped up, or did you kind of fit into that role easily?
No, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was good because, you know, I was a jokester and stuff, so it went back to back, and I was the active kid in school too, so I could relate real good.
Okay. So coming from Person County, how well do you think you were prepared to get to the point where you are now, and what things had to come into your life and come into play to actually elevate your preparedness?
Well, I think for me, it started at Northern because, you know, I wasn't the greatest behaved kid. And in 6th grade, you know, I was not doing so great in my class and stuff. And Mr. Owen was the assistant principal at Northern at the time. And he asked me one day, he said, are you thinking about playing sports? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, you know, you got to have a certain grade point average. And at the time, I'm like, well, you know, what is that? And, you know, he explained you got to have all C's and above and all that stuff. And that's when it clicked for me. And I brought everything up and started from there as far as my grades. I finished high school okay, but when I got to college is when I really hit my stride as far as, you know, making the dean's list and academic success. But I just thank Mr. Owens for just that opportunity. You know, sometimes it only takes a few words to change a person's life. You know, you can't set an age limit of when to give up on a child or when, you know, it's too late. I think it's never too late if you know, continue the consistency of guidance.